G'day and evening. Wow, what did you all think of that? Listen to this. England win the first test in India. Played down in Chennai at Chippak Stadium. England win by 227 runs. Who would have thought that? This English team, for me, sitting back here in New Zealand, watching and observing, were very focused. They were very determined. They were very specific in their plans and their mindset of how they wanted to play this game, and they executed every single session of this test match along the way for the duration of the 5 days. India, I expected a bit more fight than that. That fight we saw in Australia, I don't believe was there. Did they have a mindset of expecting to turn up and win this game of cricket? Do they just think England were going to roll over, that they had played an easy Sri Lankan side over in Sri Lanka for 2 test matches? Do they think when they arrived in the shores of India that they wouldn't be up to it? Well, they're up to it indeed. Let's go through the scorecard. We've already said England win by 227 runs. India in the 4th innings, all out for 192. It was always going to be a tough ass chasing on that wicket. We saw the wicket deteriorate over the last couple of days, 2 to 3 days. The spinners were coming into play. And what we discussed yesterday, mentioned it on the clip yesterday, the threat of reverse swing of Jimmy Anderson, and he was outstanding. Look, this guy is 38, 39 years of age, appears to never be fitter. His skill set is of a standard of the highest order. He swings the ball in conventional swing, and when the ball comes time to reverse swing, he comes on and does the damage. I think I saw 3 for 6 off 5 overs or something like that today, which was a defining moment of this 4th innings. He picked up 3 for 17. Leach, didn't come to the party at the start in his first innings at the bowling crease, but my word, did he in the 4th innings of this match, 4 for 76. He was outstanding. The ball was turning. He applied pressure, and he picked up the key wickets from the first moment he bowled. And then we had Archer, 1 for 23, Best 1 for 50, and Stokes 1 for 13 with a big wicket of Virat Kohli. Look, just as I touched on at the very start, as an observer sitting back watching these 2 teams fight it out and battle it out in the middle, one team looked very focused, determined. Their mindset was of great accuracy on how they wanted to deliver their skills in this test match. You look at Joe Root not declaring on day 2. There's a lot of talk about this, and it was good to hear the different thoughts of people around the world on what is the right or wrong thing to do. And that's just the beauty now of cricket, isn't it? There's no right or wrong answer. They decided they wanted to get as many runs as they possibly can, take out the moment of India being able to win the game of cricket, which they did, and back their bowlers to pick up 20 wickets over the remaining 3 days. And they did that in fine style. And they got some great depth on the sidelines as well. You've got guys like Wokes, Stuart Broad will come into play at some stage. So they've got this ability now to rotate their bowlers if there were going to be a heavy workload, but some of these seamers didn't get through a big heavy workload for England on this 5th day. So you look at Jimmy Anderson, him and Broad have been rotating in and out. Well, there's a big decision for this next test match, which funny enough is back at the same venue in Chennai in a few days' time. So what we saw of this wicket over the last 5 days is very slow. The toss appears to be quite critical. To win the toss, to bat first and put on a big score, and to be bowling last on day 5. And that looks like a method of how to win the game of cricket. So the toss is going to come to play big time. I'm not sure what the curators can do in such a short period of time to try and get a bit more life into this wicket. Then they head over to Ahmedabad, where the first test, I'm pretty sure it's the pink ball test, which is going to swing around, and England are very fine bowlers of the swinging ball. So India, what can they do? Well, there's some good players. We've seen their depth over in Australia. Now, Shami potentially can come back into the fold. It's good to see Gill getting some runs. He's getting a lot of starts. He needs to convert these starts into a big 100. Kohli needs to step up at the crease. Yes, he got 70-odd today, but he needs to make a big score and a big contribution of significance to really lead this team. And I'm sure that fighting spirit really needs to come back into the fold. It almost looked like they're trying to play a bit nice and a bit cute, out there expecting England to turn up and fold over. But if they can, Ravi Shastri is he's a masterful coach. He's a fantastic coach. We saw that over in Australia. So how is he going to marshal his troops over the course of the next 3-4 days to bring that belief back into the group? And let's not forget, India were in the situation in the very first test in Australia in Adelaide, where they're all out for 36. So they've been in this position before where they've lost the first test. So they should seek comfort in the fact that they were in Australia, lost the first test, and they came back and won the series 2-1. So they have the ability to do it. So if they can do it in Australia, they can certainly do it at home in India, but they have to be more specific. They have to have great accuracy in their plans with the bat and the ball. And I really think they need to get a little bit of fight back in the belly and get that competitive streak roaring again for the second test. And it sets up the second test nicely, because how are India going to bounce back from this result that they've been through over the last 5 days, where every session they're outplayed, let's be honest, and how England are going to be in a position now, being 1-0 up, the World Test Championship finals at play, and they need to win the series big time. So the second test is vitally important for that side of things as well. But how are England going to back up this performance of what they've just displayed over the last 5 days? So all in all, send your comments in. What can Ravi Shastri and Virat Kohli do to this Indian lineup? What are the tweaks and the changes that they can do? And also, what can England do for an England supporter moving into this next test match? So yeah, jump on the comments, share the YouTube clip around to your friends and family, and let's just see, let's get people talking about what can happen over for these couple of sides over the next 3-4 days as they prepare for the second test.
Lead bowling, well, you're not getting better than